The beginning of summer in New England means NASCAR has come to town to race at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, a mile track as tough as the granite this state is known for. After a few weeks apart, the NASCAR Nationwide Series races at the same track as the Sprint Cup side, meaning the boys are back. Someone else is back, resuming her stock car try after a couple of months focusing on Indy cars. On the line today, an amazing record. In 23 New Hampshire races, no driver has ever won more than once. And while there are some great candidates to end that streak, including the circuit's hottest driver, there are also some great candidates to keep it going. Who gets the glory today in the granite state of New Hampshire?
10, 9.
ESPN welcomes you to NASCAR Countdown for the first race of summer. 200 laps for the NASCAR Nationwide Series at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Loudon, New Hampshire. What was supposed to be a wonderful start to summer in New England with a forecast of a 30% chance of an isolated shower, well, the radar shows that shower's not so isolated and maybe headed this way. 78 degrees right now, only 50% humidity at the moment. But we are hopeful, despite the looks of the radar picture, of getting this race on time, underway, and to its completed distance. You will see, though, that there is a blob of rain heading this way from out over Vermont Way. And again, we hope to get this thing going on time and get it to its full scheduled distance. This is always one of the busiest race weekends of the year. Just today, track activity started at 8:15 Eastern Time this morning with NASCAR Whelen Modified Series final practice. Then it was Nationwide Series qualifying at 10 o'clock. Brad Keselowski's the fastest. More on qualifying in a minute. There have been 2 practice sessions for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, the last one from 11:45 to 12:45. And then the Whelen Modified Series race, 100 laps on this track. It just finished moments ago. That's Ryan Newman in the lime green colored 7 car, Teddy Christopher in the 36. A great late race fight with Newman coming out on top. That car owned by Sprint Cup Series crew chief Kevin Mannion, and Ryan Newman climbing out in victory lane just moments ago. All of that before we even get to the green flag for the NASCAR Nationwide Series race. Here are the fastest qualifiers and the top 10 starters for the Nationwide Series 200. The top 2 in the championship sharing the front row, Keselowski and Edwards, with Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick right behind. Some young drivers making noise in qualifying. Steve Wallace, Austin Dillon, the ARCA champ Justin Lofton, and Ricky Stenhouse all in the top 10.
More and more, 25, 30 times in a year, making that commitment. We know that she has the talent to do this. Now she needs to make the commitment to come over here and do this on a more regular basis, and we'll see the results get much better.
Danica heading out to join the other drivers at introductions. Her car parked on the grid as we get set to go racing here in New Hampshire. 200 laps for the NASCAR Nationwide Series on the Magic Mile.
Well, looks like when AB's coming to the pit studio. That's
yes.
what it looks just like this.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I have yet to experience that. We'll be back to New Hampshire. From Freedom Trail on the sides of historic Boston to the beautiful mountains and lakes of New Hampshire. Always good times to be had in these parts at this time of the year. Summertime in New England also means racing at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where again thousands of fans have come to see their high-speed heroes in action on the Magic Mile. The green flag just 41 minutes away for the 24th NASCAR Nationwide Series race at this track. Race 16 of the NASCAR Nationwide Series season will be race 7 in this series for Austin Dillon, the 20-year-old grandson of 12-time champion owner Richard Childress, giving the Childress 21 car a drive today. But it's one of the few times we're going to see this very pedigreed car race for the rest of the year. RCR's been one of the dominant teams in the Nationwide Series for much of this decade. Won the Nationwide Series championship 7 times, 3 drivers' titles with Kevin Harvick and Clint Boyer, and 4 owners' championships, 55 wins since they began competing in this series in 2000. Second most this decade. But Doc, due to a lack of sponsorship, this is one of only a few times we're going to see this car this summer. Austin Dillon starts 8th.
20-year-old Austin Dillon is the grandson of legendary car owner Richard Childress. And Austin, today you strap in that famous number 21 car that's won so many championships. What best describes this day for you? Is it pressure to perform or opportunity to shine?
You know, I think it's a big opportunity for the Bass Pro Shops team. We're coming out here. We haven't ran a nationwide race all year. We qualified 8th, which was good, and I got my truck guys helping me out, and we're going to go out and have some fun today, and, you know, we'll see what we can do.
Hey, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Alan, he qualified 8th, but the learning curve could be very steep here today in the Nationwide Series.
All right, Doc, thank you. Austin Dillon, part of a group of young drivers in today's race, looking to make their names more known to you and prospective sponsors in the sport. The group of drivers competing for Raybestos Rookie of the Year recently had their driving skills tested in a different kind of way.
My name is Sergeant Ruby. I'm with the Matthews Police Department. The reason why we're out here today is we're going to put you guys through the law enforcement drivers training program.
So when today is over, Colin and Ricky will know how to drive?
You're all three going to know how to drive. You ready to get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's go.
I'm good at turning left.
I know.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
One going.
Oh. Ah, cones.
About to move the seat up.
Go, Ricky, go! I feel sorry for the cones right now.
I think I can save it.
First run, gotta be smooth.
You gotta buckle up. Buckle up for safety.
Come on, Daisy.
Oh. You drove two-footed, didn't you?
Yeah.
You drove two-footed.
We're driving two-footed. Not counted.
Well, thank you for coming out today and taking part in the law enforcement drivers training program.
See that? Junior officer.
Obviously, the good officers at the Matthews Police Department there have not been watching the Nationwide Series, because these three young men have hit everything on the racetrack that's not moving. They have had a tough time with some of these race cars this year, but young Ricky Stenhouse Jr., all these guys have a great opportunity today to clean all that up, not run over anybody, and get their wheels back under.
Well, maybe that driver training will help.
Yeah, well, we're going to see.
Let me take a serious turn here for a minute. Last week, Richard Childress laid off employees from that 21 Nationwide Series team, including the crew chief Dan Deeringhoff, because of a lack of sponsorship. We'll only see this car run at Daytona next week. Won't see him again till Bristol to the end of August because of a lack of sponsorship. That's a pretty tough statement right now.
Yeah, it's really tough. And Richard Childress is one of my heroes. You know, I'm a car owner, and I always try to model myself after Richard Childress. He's the standard bearer, an independent guy who's kind of done it by pulling up his bootstraps and fought his way to the top. And when you see a guy like that struggling to acquire sponsorship, it means it's tough for all of us. So I wish him the best. He's been nothing but excellent for this sport.
Austin Dillon, a young driver trying to work his way up the racing ladder through his start here today. But we've also seen this Nationwide Series used in another way. Established Sprint Cup drivers kind of trying to maybe rehabilitate an image. You've been that way before.
Yeah, I've been there. You know, sometimes your Cup career is not going exactly like you wanted, and I found myself in that very position in 1989. At the end of the year, sponsorship was going away at Kel Yarborough's. I had no ride, and it was too late to get a new one. So I had to go back to what was the Busch Series at the time with my own race team. Fortunately, I had an opportunity to come along with the Wood brothers that basically resurrected my career. But you get, just like Elliott Sadler's doing here, you know, things aren't going as well for him on the Cup side. He's wanting to take this opportunity in 10 races to show people, yeah, I can still drive. Give me that opportunity. So that's what the series is for. You have two different ends of the spectrum. Veterans that are looking to resurrect their career, and then these young guys trying to prove themselves.
Sadler with an uncertain future on the Sprint Cup side at this moment, beginning a 10-race run in Junior Motorsports 88 car. We saw Dave Burns standing there with him to talk. Dave?
Of course, the last time Elliott raced in the series, 2009, just one race that year, and it was right here at Loudon, New Hampshire. Finished 18th that day for Braun Racing. So today, after a couple of days of practice, how do you feel in Nationwide Series?
I'm glad to be back in it. We've had a lot of fun the last 2 days. I've had a lot of fun working with Pops, and my first time working with Junior Motorsports, and it's been a lot of fun. I messed up in qualifying a little bit off turn 4, lost some time, but actually in race trim, I think we're going to be pretty good.
I can't get past the irony. You're trying to make your career kind of stand out here, and you have a camouflage sponsor. Is there any irony in that?
But it's a good-looking camo. All of Real Tree's camo looks good, and it's neat that Bill Jordan and I have been good friends for a long time. And